Welcome to the MLB Network Podcast presented by Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. In this episode of the pod, this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk to a six-time All-Star, a World Series champ, a four-time Silver Slugger, and a guy who is still a legend in Philadelphia. And I think it might come as a surprise to fans to learn that we're speaking with Chase Utley overseas. He and his family have lived in London for the past few years. Chase, good to see you, man. Tell us about the decision to move the fam to London. I guess it was your wife's suggestion. She was an international traveler. And how's it going out there?
Yeah, first off, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Good to see you. Yeah, it was my wife's idea a number of years ago. Basically, I'll keep it short. She said, whenever you're done screwing around on the baseball field, let's go live somewhere else. So we chose London. Obviously, an amazing historical city. And the access to the rest of Europe is pretty easy. So picked up my two boys and my wife when we made the trek over here. We've been here now almost 2.5 years, and we've had a blast.
It's amazing, man. So I would imagine if you guys had chosen to live your post-baseball playing career in Philadelphia, you'd never pay for a meal. You'd be recognized everywhere you go. Is there any recognition for you in London?
No, not very often, which is fine with me. Occasionally, I'll run into a baseball fan on the streets, but overall, keep my head down, enjoy having some time alone to myself, and explore a little bit.
You know, I've been there a couple times. First of all, better restaurant town than people give it credit for. You hear this nonsense about how the food in London isn't very good. That's totally false. And I found the dentistry to be better there than people talk about. What are your takes on that stuff?
Well, I don't know much. I don't know much about the dentistry, but I can tell you the food here is great. I mean, it's such a worldwide culture here. There's so many different options. The traditional British food isn't to my particular liking, but there's so many different options because you're essentially in the middle of Europe and you have a lot of options at hand.
Yeah, I know that you've worked and work as an ambassador for Major League Baseball over there, and you were pretty busy this summer when the Mets and Phillies played the London series. We're trying to grow the game over there. Do you see it making an impact, or is there some baseball awareness now?
There's a lot of baseball awareness now. I mean, this program started 4 or 5 years ago when the Yankees and Red Sox came over here, and it was a huge success. So we wanted to kind of add on to that. And this past year was another successful series with the Phillies and Mets. Obviously, the Phillies are true in my heart, but I think there were 30% more fans from the UK showed up to that game than the year before. So we're definitely making a dent there from an overall awareness standpoint. I mean, the MLB Europe social channels have grown tremendously over the past few years. So yes, we're step by step, we're making an impact and hopefully a lot more.
So I've never been to a soccer game over there, Premier League or anything. I would imagine in your time you have, and I've heard it described this way in terms of the crowd. It's like a Philly crowd every day at a soccer game. You could speak to that. Is that accurate?
That's fairly accurate. It's remarkable how big soccer is, but actually now that I'm a local, we call it football over here, Matt. But yes, it's huge. I kind of accumulated as like Major League Baseball, the NFL, the NBA, the NHL kind of wrapped up in one sport. That's how big soccer is over here in Europe.
It's amazing. I want to talk a little bit about your career, of course. We don't have a ton of time with you, but you were always a pretty humble guy on the field. You were never a numbers chaser, but look, you finished with only 5 second basemen ever hitting more homers than you did in your career. Was there ever a time, or were there ever numbers that you became aware of and that you wanted to go get or play for?
To be honest with you, Matt, no. I mean, my goal on a daily basis was to try to figure out how to help my team win. And my ultimate goal is to have some type of impact, whether that was offensively, defensively, on the bases or in the clubhouse on a daily basis. And that was kind of my overall goal. And I imagine you talked to plenty of guys. When you're in the moment, you're in the mix of it, it's hard to look at your overall statistics. Winning was extremely important to me, and I was lucky enough to be on several teams that got to play in the postseason, played in several World Series, won a World Series. So I feel pretty fortunate to play baseball at the time I did with the teams I did.
Yeah, those World Series appearances, 08 and 09, back-to-back World Series appearances. You guys win one in 08. You fall a little short the following year to the Yankees, but you had a run in 09 that I would imagine is still pretty fresh on your mind. For those of us that never played, what is the mindset like? What's the experience like when you are playing at the highest level with the biggest stakes out there? 5 home run series, which is still the major league record.
Well, I mean, that's what it's all about, is to get to get to the postseason and get to the World Series. I think that's every kid's dream. And you hope that you're hot at the right time during that series. In this particular series, I felt good, and I felt good going into it, and obviously had some success during that season. And I just saw CC earlier, so congratulations to CC Sabathia for being inducted to the Hall of Fame. Couldn't happen to a better guy. I unfortunately had an opportunity to face him a few times. Wasn't a whole lot of fun. So happy for him.
Yeah, you mentioned the Hall of Fame, and all the guys that are on, first-year eligibility ballots these days are all guys right in your contemporary, including yourself, a couple years on the ballot for you. Who are we missing when we talk about guys that should be mentioned for the Hall of Fame? Like CC and Ichiro were obvious. Is there a guy you played against that you're like, man, everybody's missing on this dude? He was way better than he gets credit for.
I mean, there's so many guys. I mean, a few of them haven't really had the opportunity yet. I didn't go to my double play partner, who I was lucky enough to share a field with for over a dozen years. He's a spark plug. I think we all know how challenging playing shortstop is on a daily basis, and he made it look so simple and so easy. He was our catalyst. He was our leadoff man. He had the ability to work a walk. He had the ability to hit the ball out of the park, and when he went, we went. So I'm happy that he's trending in the right direction on the ballot. I'm also happy to see Dustin Pedroia get the recognition he deserves. I enjoyed watching him play. Didn't have a whole lot of opportunities to play against him because he was in the American League, but I really love his style of play and what he brought to the field on a daily basis.
Yeah, you guys get mentioned in the same breath an awful lot in terms of all the intangibles. We're going to continue with Chase here in a minute. We're going to take him back to his first of almost 2,000 hits, his first of almost 260 homers, and some really mean stuff that John Kruk engineered at his expense. It's coming up right after this.
The MLB Network Podcast is presented by Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
The farmer's dog thinks about your dog every day because their goal is to help them live a long, healthy life. Their food is developed by a team of board-certified vet nutritionists. Unlike most pet foods, the farmer's dog is made to human-grade standards. It's gently cooked without the ultra-processing and portioned for easy weight management. Because sure, good ingredients matter, but the best recipes call for so much more. Get 50% off your first box of the official pet food of Major League Baseball at thefarmersdog.com/MLB. That's thefarmersdog.com/MLB.
April 24th, 2003, Chase Utley got into the book. First career hit just happened to be a grand slam. And you'd think the joy would be palpable until the prank that was played on him after the game.
Take Chase. Yeah. As a 10-year Major League vet, I'm a member of the Major League Baseball Rules Committee, and we had some problems with you. They didn't put you on the roster, so we're going to have to. Phillies.
Yeah,
He wasn't on.
Didn't get the computer work didn't get done when we made the recall from Scranton, trying to rush to get him off the bus.
They're going to fine the Phillies $250,000 and have to forfeit every game that Chase has participated in this year.
The game he finished hit too? They went 0 for 1?
Yes.
So you're supposed to let these guys know a week ahead of time when you call somebody up?
Bo, it's not on me. I'm trying to help here. That's why
I think it's Ruben's fault.
Sure.
Now, did you drive or fly here?
I drove.
You drove?
Yeah.
That might help, but I think what Major League Baseball wants to see, they want to see a plane ticket to know that you were actually called by the Phillies and you didn't drive up here by yourself. That could be a problem. So we're going to try to, like I said, we're going to try to fix that. Now, do you own or rent in Scranton?
I'm renting.
And here, in Philly,
I'm staying in a hotel.
Oh, gosh. You know what the biggest problem is with this whole thing? Do you honestly think Major League Baseball would make me a member of the
All right.
Welcome to the big leagues.
It's such a good one, Chase. I know you've seen it a million times. Did you buy it all along, or did Crucky give it up at some point?
No, believe it or not, I bought it. I don't know why I bought it. The fact that Ed Wade was in there because he was very serious all the time. Bo was screwing around half the time, and obviously we know what Kruk is all about. But I should have known. Like he said, how would Major League Baseball put him in charge of anything?
So good.
So yes, they got me for sure.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, Bo was selling it pretty hard. I mean, he started to get into Boa mode where he was a little chapped and just angry, and I would have believed it at that point too. So this happens to you to begin your major league career. Should have been the biggest moment of your life. First hits, a slam. I want to know that in your subsequent time with the Phillies or even in L.A., was there a gag or a goof or a prank that even came close to that?
On myself? No, not at all. I mean, I think, Matt, you know me well enough to where I was fairly serious, especially, middle to the end of my career. No one really messed with me too much.
Yeah.
But that one got me. God, my hair was so brown back then. That was nice.
All of us, man. I know.
Yes. But yes, it was a moment I won't ever forget.
Oh, that's good.
And I still owe John Kruk something.
Was there ever a time that you were on the other side of a clubhouse prank, something fun, something light, not mean-spirited that you can share?
We did a few of these in Philadelphia. We had a pitcher by the name of Kyle Kendrick who had some pretty good success with the Phillies. There was a certain point in time early in his career where they called him in the office, similar to this situation, and they told him that he had been traded to a Japanese team, and he was a young kid, didn't really know what was going on. So I would imagine he bought that a lot more than I bought it. They kind of let it go too. They let it go in past that office scenario. He went to take a shower. The clubby's packing up his bags. That right there was a good one. Torturous.
Oh man, and he's on the phone with his wife, and he's saying, "Get a Rosetta Stone."
Full tears, total mess.
Oh man, oh goodness. There's something about that vibe in Philly. It's true today too. For the last 30 years, it feels like guys that have played there like playing with each other. It's true of the current group with Bryce and Schwarber. They self-police, they like each other, and it was certainly true with you guys in your vintage. You keep in touch with those guys a lot?
Yeah, we do. We're on a text thread together. As you can imagine, we're all kind of separated all over the place. Now that I'm in London, much more farther away. But yes, we connect. We played actually after the London games this year. We went up to Scotland and got a few rounds of golf under our belt. So that was good to kind of connect with those guys. Everyone has families and everyone going in separate directions, but it's great to chat with them. And it was like yesterday that we were in the clubhouse, sharing the clubhouse together.
That's cool to hear. I think fans love hearing about that stuff. I think fans would also be curious about, we'll take you back pre-Phillies to Long Beach Poly High, class of 97. And when you graduate from that place and you know that Tony Gwynn went there and Cameron Diaz and Snoop Dogg and Billie Jean King, is every student at that high school aware of the people that have come through it?
Yes, I was aware of all these people that came through it prior to me. And there's some pretty good American football players that went through there with Willie McGinnis and so on and so forth. So yes, great school, huge, big athletic program, and clearly a good rap program and a good acting program because of their success.
I know that Tony was always pretty active with Long Beach Poly people. Did you have experiences with Tony as a fellow alum from that place?
Yeah, I think that was a little bit prior to me. I got the opportunity to play with Tony Gwynn Jr. in Philadelphia, and he was a fantastic guy. I would imagine you know him. There isn't really much of a better human being. But no, I didn't see Tony around too much in my 4 years at Poly.
Who were the more impactful guys on your career when you started with the Phillies? Older guys, even guys that might not have gotten to the big leagues?
Yeah, first the biggest influence, to be honest with you, was kind of random, was Jim Tomei. I was a huge Jim Tomei fan during high school, and I opened my stance up, I raised my hands up above my ears because of him, and he made it look so easy. So I figured if he can do it, maybe I can do it. And then the fact that I was able to play with him and share a uniform with him was pretty cool. Again, not a better human being on the planet. When I first got to the big leagues, Pat Burrell took me under his wing, whether I liked it or not, and kind of showed me the ropes of what it's all about to be a big leaguer. So I owe a lot to him, and we're just so fortunate to come up at the time we did with Jimmy Rollins and Burrell and Ryan Howard, Shane Victorino, Jason Worth, played with Placido Blanco, Cole Hamels, who will be on the Hall of Fame ballot next year. So I'm excited to see how that goes, because he was, I don't know, 22 years old, and leading us all the way to the World Series, which you just don't see very often. So I'm happy to see how that goes.
Was there ever a guy, sorry, because I think about this with you. I've spoken to younger players who held you in such high esteem. There were guys that are like, I don't know, I want to meet Chase Utley, but I'm a little intimidated. Was there ever a guy that you felt that way about, a guy that you held in such high esteem that you were a little tentative to say hello to?
Not Matt. To be honest, no.
Yeah.
There wasn't. I admire a lot of guys. Obviously, Greg Biggio played for 75,000 years and had an amazing career. And I was a quiet guy. So when I got on base and I was, now playing with guys that I idolized, I didn't really know what to say, so I wouldn't say anything. So, but the good ones would come up to me and pat me on my back and welcome me to the big leagues. That was cool. B was one of those guys.
Yeah, and you just named a lot of the good guys too, for sure. We're going to take one more quick break, come back with Chase Utley, some rapid fire questions with Chase coming up next. All right, final moments with Chase Utley here. We got to hit you, Chase, with some rapid fire questions. Ones that a couple I know you've been asked a million times, but I'm genuinely curious. If you take Citizens Bank Ballpark out of the equation, what was your favorite ballpark to hit in?
Oof. Citizens Bank out of the equation. Well, it depends on what time of year. What time of year are we talking about?
Let's say midsummer.
Midsummer. Wrigley Field's a good one to hit in. Wind's blowing out. It's 88 degrees, extremely humid. That was a good place to hit in. You know what? I grew up in Los Angeles going to Dodger games, and that's a good place to hit. Great backdrop. A lot of fans in the stands, so a lot of excitement, a lot of adrenaline pumping. Wrigley in the middle of the summer when the wind's blowing out for sure. Other than that, and other than Citizens Bank, Dodger Stadium.
Okay. Would it have been a different answer if I'd said like dead of winter or maybe like April 1st?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. We opened the season there one year and it was, I don't know, 34 degrees, shoveling snow off the field.
Yeah.
Wind is blowing straight in, and it was, you just felt kind of worthless at the plate.
That's no good for a SoCal kid or for somebody from the Northeast. Nobody likes that.
For anybody, to be honest.
Toughest pitcher that you ever faced? There might be a couple of them. Is there a random dude that might surprise us?
Yes. There's right-hand pitcher Carlos Villanueva. I don't know what my stats are against him. Somebody there maybe could pick him up, but I know I never got a hit off him, and I faced him a lot. Wasn't overpowering, but I couldn't figure out what way the ball was going, and never was able to square one up. Other than that, I mean, facing Aroldis Chapman's no fun. Facing Billy Wagner, again, congratulations to him, former teammate of mine, getting into the Hall of Fame. He wasn't fun to face. He's about 5'5" with the short lefty arm, and just it wasn't that intimidating until you got in the box and you saw the first pitch, and then you realize he's not messing around. Josh Beckett was a tough one, especially early in his career. Intense, fiery, looked mean, which I appreciate.
Oh, man, that's good stuff. That's such a good vintage of the sport. By the way, a little birdie just told me in my ear, 0 for 16 against Carlos Villanueva. Yeah, I guess you remember that experience pretty good. More likely to pick up a check, John Kruk, Larry Boa.
Oh, they're both pretty cheap. I'd say I think they push it off on each other, and then probably Boa would probably pick it up.
Just whoever just forgot their wallet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Which both of them most likely would have lost their wallet.
Here's the question. I almost feel guilty asking you this because I feel like it's going to get you in trouble someplace. You can absolutely play this politically and say both. One meal that you have to have, is it In-N-Out Burger or is it Tony Luke's?
Oh, you're right. You're going to get me in trouble. Listen, I had a lot of cheesesteaks, a few Tony Luke's, but the In-N-Out Burger, man, you just can't beat it. Southern California kid. I grew up on that stuff.
And take the boy out of SoCal, can't take the SoCal out of the boy.
Yeah.
Got it. Are you going to be appearing anywhere stateside this baseball season?
I hope so. No plans yet when we're going to go back to the States. I might pop in and out. I'd love to spend some time in Philadelphia. I'd love to spend some time in LA, and check in on some of my former teammates that are still doing it. It's fun to watch. It's a little challenging to watch over here, especially in real time, but I like to follow along with my former teammates. Most of them now I play with the Dodgers. My Phillies crew, they're all old like me.
I know all those guys would love to see you, as would fans certainly from those two places. Chase, we appreciate the visit today, man. Thanks for joining us from London, and we wish you and your family the best over there. We hope to see you in the ballpark this year.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Six-time All-Star Chase Utley joining us on the MLB Network Podcast. It's going to wrap up this installment. Stay with us for future podcasts. You never know who's going to drop in. I'm Matt Vasgersian. Thanks for tuning us in today.